Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode 5. So last time we saw, I guess, the reaction of the adults as they find out that Butler solved the epitaph, them fighting on how much would they get right, and then Natsuhi stopping them, all that, and the other adults, Rudolph, who else, Ava and Rosa, Hideyoshi wanting to go talk to Kinzo, right? And then yes, Natsuhi, of course, trying to stop them. And we also had some scenes with Butler and Virgilia, them talking about the intentions of the culprit on why did she continue this witch's epitaph, this ritual, right? And yes, let us continue. Let's see what happens today. Butler did nothing but gaze blankly out the window. The fighting between the relatives went on without end. At first, the relatives had crowded around the study. However, no matter how much they knocked, the master of the study did not answer even once. Eva and several others said they should open the other or the door with the second key, the one Genji held. However, in a flash of brilliance, Natsuhi said that Kinzo had been in a particularly bad mood and had taken back the key he had previously given Genji, which meant that he now had both keys himself. She claimed that this was the reason they couldn't open the door. After she promised to let them meet Kinzo tomorrow morning no matter what, they finally returned to the dining hall. But of course, the argument continued even there. Ava's group needed a lot of cash very soon and they were trying to threaten Kraus somehow and make him pay up. Apparently Butler solving the epitaph threatened Kraus's position as a successor. That Butler doesn't care if Kraus is still the successor. It doesn't even matter. He doesn't even want to get all the money even, right? It's more on themselves fighting about that, which gave the others a powerful tailwind. On the other side, Kraus and Natsuhi based their argument on the claim that it had never been specified that the ownership of the gold would be handed over to the person who solved the epitaph. So yes, this is what I was saying last time. These two, Natsuhi and Kraus, were being greedy, right? They wanted the biggest share, at least for the gold. It hadn't been hidden gold but simply Kinzo's stockpile. And it was still Kinzo's property, which meant it would naturally be distributed after Kinzo's death with the rest of the inheritance. Once they made that claim, Ava's group once again started demanding to be allowed to see Kinzo. It had probably been obvious to them from the beginning, this sibling fight could only be settled by Kinzo. This was obviously a confrontation between Ava's group, which wanted cash fast, and Kraus, who was hiding his lack of funds but still didn't need money right away. As he listened vaguely to this exchange, Butler marveled at how, despite their usual affluent airs, they were surprisingly deep in debt.
それもさっき聞いた話ではないかね。もういい。休止しよう。お互い一度した話を延々と繰り返しているだけだ。
I mean, Ava, Rudolph, and Rosa, they're not stupid. They know that Kinzo is gone. It's just that Kraus and Natsuhi doesn't just want to admit it, right? And this is just gonna be a never-ending fight between them. According to the clock, it was almost 12 midnight. It was certainly a perfect time for a break. The atmosphere relaxed just a bit.
同感や。お互い一服するのも悪くないで。ほな以後は議事を取りながらにせんか。言った言わないはもうごめんや。
まったくだわ。舌の根も乾かないうちにそんなことは言ってないなんて。 平気で言い出す兄さんとの会議に議事録は必須だものね。
文字じゃ書くのも手間だし、インチキだっていくらでもできるわ。
A mere written record would be a pain. It'd be an easy target for forgery.
そうだね。
True.
兄貴、こいつは動くのか？オーディオセットかね。なるほど。それならば議事を手書きせずに済むし、捏造もできんね。互いにとって公平だ。
勝手にいじらないように。
Okay.
当主様の大切な音楽テープですよ。
Why is Natsui always so flustered? Come on, calm down a little bit. The dignified tape set had a sense of weight to it that matched this majestic dining hall perfectly. On our pleasant Sunday mornings, it would sometimes be used to play famous tapes or records. However, now it was the most neutral and impartial conference record keeper around. Rudolph fished randomly around a cassette rack, searching for a blank tape. And every time he found some tape with sophisticated music on it, he'd complain about how pompous it was.
失礼します。お呼びでしょうか。
休憩することになったの。申し訳ないんだけど、何か飲み物を用意してもらえないかしら。ビスケットみたいなものがあってもいいかもね。
かしこまりました。
Imagine if Genji said, "How about you go do it yourself, right?
すぐにご用意いたします。
How about you make your own biscuits? I need to head to bed."
あと、ごめんなさい。風邪薬あるかしら。さっきから熱っぽくて。
なら無理は良くないな。休みたまえ。
ローザがいいと思うなら好きに休めば。
Nah. Okay, and now I think why Rosa was dead. I think Rosa was dead, right? In the beginning? In the beginning of the episode. She was one of the ones who were dead. Her and Maria, if I'm correct. And then all of them are still alive. Kirie, Rudolph, Ava, Hideyoshi, Karaos, and Natsuhi. I guess Rosa left.
私ならこの大事な会議中に風邪くらいじゃ休まないけどね。
そうかね。私は遠慮なく休ませてもらうよ。夏日、私たちも少し休まないかね。
Now Kraus has a reason. A reason to go away for now.
はい、あなた。
Sensing that he meant to have a strategy meeting, Natsuhi stood up. Even if that hadn't been the case, as she was so desperate to get out of the room even for a moment that she'd taken any excuse. Kraus and Natsuhi left the dining hall and the tension in the room truly relaxed. I mean, most of the tension is only on Natsuhi though. Yeah.
バトラ君もお疲れ様。
You've been doing great. He's been doing nothing. He's just sitting there listening to you guys.
最悪の気分でしょ。大人の階段だと思って諦めて。
俺はいつまでここでボサーっとしてりゃいいんすかね。
さあ、バトラ君は私たちのおみこしだからね。眠い？
古典の授業程度には。
今夜はどうせお父さんは現れないでしょう。クラウス兄さんたちが戻ってきたら、バトラ君はもう戻っていいかと提案してみるわ。
よろしく頼んます。
A light knock and the faint sound of china clinking together could be heard. Oh,
失礼
Shannon.
します。
Shannon is finally here.
お茶をお持ちいたしました。
And Kanon. Shannon and Kanon had come by with a serving cart. The pleasant smell of black tea had the effect of relieving a bit of tension.
よ、話は聞いてるか？
何のお話でしょうか。
僕たちは何も。
よしなさいルドルフ。教える必要は何もないわ。
僕たちは家具ですから。
They probably know. Yeah, they probably know already, for sure.
親族会議のお話には関心ありません。
そうね。それが賢い返事だわ。
深夜勤なの？大変ね。
そういうお役目ですので、ご用命いただけて嬉しいです。
そうかもしれんな。することもなくぼんやり起きてる方がしんどいもんや。わしも下積み時代に倉庫番とかやったことあるんやけどな。ただ起きてるだけでもこれがとにかく辛いんや。戦争直後はな、物資泥棒とかゾロゾロおってな、警察も頼れん時代でとにかく物騒でな。
Hideyoshi was particularly proud of how he'd started with nothing and built up assets by illegally diverting goods from the American army. Once a subject came up, Hideyoshi tended to get pretty talkative. Their relatives who knew this were greatly relieved to see a perfect sacrifice had come up.
バレたら一大じゃ。
I wonder back then, yeah, how did the police work back in World War II, right? I mean, pretty much a lot of people were going to war, right? And were getting drafted left and right. So yeah, they even, I mean, well, of course they still had police, but yeah, that was I don't notice that, or I never thought of that. I mean,
アメさんは怖いで。
American people are scary.
牛肉食っとるからパワーも桁違いや。
All the beef that they eat, that's why they're bigger and much more stronger.
捕まったら最後銃殺刑かデスバイハンギングや。わかるか？デスバイハンギング。いや、それでな、わしは思うたんや。肉や。日本人はもっと肉を食わなあかん。そしてわしは胃袋をつかむ商売を始めなあかんという典型を受けたんや。
They're like, what are you talking about?
それは、大変なお仕事ですね。
よしなさいよ、あなた。戦後生まれにいくら話しても、当時の苦労なんか伝わらないわよ。
I mean, it's kind of true though, yeah. It's hard to imagine even. Like how life was back then. You could only hear about stories, right? But, like actually, like knowing what happened then, or how people suffered then, I mean, you probably can't explain that. Very hard.
またわしの悪い癖が出てしもうたな。すまん。
あなたたちもお茶をしていきなさいよ。たまには自分たちがどういう紅茶を入れてるか、その下で学ぶのもいい勉強になると思うわ。
いえ、結構です。お気遣いなく。
少し付き合ってくれよ。大人ばかりで俺も窒息しそうなんだ。
そら、次期当主のバトラ様のご命令だぞ。そこに座って俺たちとしばらくお茶しろい。それで最近の出来事とか趣味とか、見てるテレビとか、若者の今の流行りとか、そういう話をしやがれ。俺たちの勉強になるからな。
明暗ね。ほら、二人とも座って。そして話題に飢えた私たちの生贄になってちょうだい。
そうやな。若い子と話をしよう思たら、キャバクラでもいかんとこの年では難しいわ。
いつまでぼさっと突っ立ってんのよ。ルドルフが座れと命令したわ。座りなさいよ。私も許可してあげるわ。
After getting Ava's permission, Shannon and Canon looked at each other and finally obeyed nervously. For a while, the two were pounded by questions and become the relatives' playthings. Then, a reserved knocking sound could be heard. All of the servants tended to knock in a similar manner, so no one found it strange. However, Shannon and Cannon turned around with surprised looks on their faces. The servants here today included two of them, Genji, Kumasawa, and Goda, so everyone is here. Goda had the midnight shift at the guest house. Kumasawa had gone to bed in a spare room in the guest house. The two of them were right here, so Genji was the only person left. But they knew very well that Genji wouldn't knock like that.
誰だ
Is it Erika?
開いてるぜ。勝手に入れよ。
Rudolph didn't recognize the knock either. When he asked who is it, it became apparent that no one knew whose knock it was. After that, the same knock repeated just once more. Could it be that someone had their hands full and was asking that the door be opened for them? As a slightly odd feeling began to encompass the room, the sound of the large clock in the hall could be heard. It was a sign that October 4th that ended and October 5th had begun. Honestly, this episode, yeah, it's kind of creepy now. Let's step back a bit in time. At this time, Kraus and Natsuhi were ways off in a deserted corridor on the second floor.
もうそれしか手はないのかね。
はい。明日一日、同じ手はもはや通用しないでしょう。
I like how the song is titled At Death's Door. It's like meaning these two, yeah. They're pretty much nearing the end of their lives. They needed to do something or say something.
これ以上を渋れば、エヴァさんたちはお父様を監禁しているなどと主張して警察に訴える可能性さえあります。
Honestly, they're kind of lucky though. Yeah, the other siblings won't call the cops to actually force the door open because they don't want to show Kinzo, right?
もうこれが限界です。バトラ君が黄金を発見するのが全く想定外でした。あれさえなければなんとかうまくやりくりできる筋書きを考えていたのですが。
私がかけるといつもこうだな。いつも想定外のことが起き、絶対確実だった話がおかしくなる。
明日の朝、お父様の部屋が空っぽであるということにします。源氏と口裏を合わせ、早朝に森へ出かけていくのを見たと言わせましょう。
その思想をエヴァたちが素直に受け入れるとは思えん。
客も承知です。しかしもうそれしか手がありません。
そのようなことをすればエヴァたちは疑わしいと騒ぎ立てるだろう。エヴァたちは金をせしめるためならなりふりなど構うまい。それこそおかしな雑誌とつるんで私の信用にダメージを与えてくるかもしれない。
ダメージで済むではありませんか。万一にもお父様の秘密を知られたらそれどころでは済みません。
明日一日をギリギリまで粘ってからでも遅くはない。もしも明日を無事に乗り切ることができれば私たちは何も失うものはないのだ。焦って失踪という切り札を切る必要はない。
彼らがお父様を監禁していると騒ぎ立て、そこに失踪していたと返すのですか。その方がはるかに疑いを招きます。もうお父様にお休みいただきましょう。これ以上は無理です。
落ち着きたまえ。 エヴァたちの毒気を浴びすぎて冷静を失っただけだ。
But honestly, if I think about it, let's say Kraus and Natsuhi tell their situation to the siblings. Will they even... I mean, will they even care? I mean, probably not, because Kraus was doing it under the table, right? It was not... Yeah, he was stealing money from Kinzo, right? Yeah. And then he offered the house, technically, right? He gave the deeds to other people so he can borrow money. So, yeah, probably they're just gonna get much more angrier if they did that, or if these two told them that.
あの社債に入る鍵は2本しかない。そしてその2本はここに君が持っている。だから誰も入ることなどできん。あの扉は特別製だ。彼らが倉庫からどんな工具を持ってこようともびくともせんよ。
そういう物理的な問題ではありません。
だから焦るな。落ち着け。なんなら君は熱を出したことにして寝込んでいてくれればいい。その間に私が全て乗り切ってみせる。
I will overcome all of this for you.
あなただけに任せられません。私も最後まで戦います。
Honestly, it's nice seeing both of them. Both of them like this. Like in the first episode, I thought that both of them were pretty much... It was just like not a phase, but just a show that they're still husband and wife. But now you can see that they're still actually husband and wife. And they're pretty much protecting each other still. Yeah. Like in the first episode, I thought it was like... Yeah, it doesn't feel like they love each other anymore. But now, you can see that it's still there. Because yes, Natsuhi is still backing him up no matter what. When Natsuhi could no longer hold back the tears brought on by her fierce emotions, Kraus held her gently. Just how long had it been since the last time she'd felt the warmth of her husband's compassion?
頭痛がひどいのだろう。君がそういうシワを眉間に浮かべるときはいつもそうだ。
あなた。
Ooh, love scene. She had come to think that her husband could never guess the way she felt. But at times like this,
失踪という切り札は最後の最後まで待とう。殿下の報道と同じだよ。
but I do wish that at least this episode, both of them survived to the end, right?
抜かないうちが花だ。大事なのはいつでも抜けるという心構えではないかね。
それは分かっています。
その切り札を私に預けてくれんかね。もちろん最後の瞬間の責任は全て私が取る。君とジェシカは巻き込まん。
それはどういう意味ですか？
後宮家が滅ぶ時、その瓦礫に潰されるのは私だけで十分だ。台風が過ぎたら離婚届を準備しよう。それに捺印し君に預けておく。内緒で君の名義にしてある財産がある。さらにそれに慰謝料を加えれば君とジェシカは不自由なく暮らせるはずだ。
嫌です。私の墓碑に刻むべき名は後宮夏日です。どうか最後の瞬間までご一緒に。たとえあなたが後宮家最後の当主であろうとも、夏日を最後までどうか当主夫人であなたの妻でいさせてください。
Kraus' existence was founded by solely upon the trust and power of his assets as a financial fixer. If either of those weakened, nothing would remain. If they used a trump card of Kinzo's disappearance, they would lose one of these two essential supports. It was like offering your right arm in exchange for your neck being cut. It was probably better than losing your head, but you still might die from the blood loss. And even on the off chance that you did survive, you'd have to bear a heavy wound that wouldn't heal for the rest of your life. Krause was prepared even for death. Understanding this, Natsuhi buried her face in Krause's chest and cried. Dude, come on, Genji. There was a nice scene. Why are you here? The sudden appearance of Genji's voice made Natsuhi jump back and hurriedly wiped the tears from her eyes. Krause stood in front of Natsuhi, shielding her.
Genji-sanか。驚かせないでくれたまえ。何か用かね？はい。
I can imagine Genji just standing on the side and waiting for them to finish before he just showed himself, right?
申し訳ございませんが、奥様にご報告が。
私にですか？あなた。
構わんよ。
Krause left Natsuhi's side, went to a window a short ways off, and gazed at the windy and rainy rose garden. Natsuhi went with Genji to a place a short distance away.
何事ですか？
はい、実はまた奥様にお電話が。
But I was saying earlier though, right, that I actually forgot that Genji was the one who actually told Natsuhi as well that someone was calling her. Yeah, I actually said that maybe this is all on Natsuhi's head, right? Maybe she thinks that someone is calling, but there's no one saying that. But then again, maybe Genji is just... I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is just a plan, right? But it's definitely someone in the island already. It's more or less probably the culprit, the one calling. And then you can just use or change your voice technically, right? Yes. And the voice, remember the voice they said it's a young man? Not an adult, a young man. It was a large clock in the hall announcing 12 midnight.
まさか、また、あの男なのですか？
はい。いかがいたしましょう。
要件は何だと言っていますか？
お答えいただけません。奥様と直接お話ししたいとの一点張りでございます。
Again, a phone call from the man who claimed to be taking revenge for something that happened 19 years ago. 19 years ago. That was just 1 year before Jessica and Butler were born. But yeah, they did say though in the other episodes that Krause and Natsuhi, yeah, they had, I guess, problems having a child. Yeah, because yeah, look at Ava. Ava had a child, right? Ava had a child first because Natsuhi and Krause couldn't produce a child. I don't know. But yeah, then this 19 years ago, this man, I mean, saying that this is Natsuhi's son. In Natsuhi's eyes, the gap between 19 years ago and 18 years ago was immense. I don't want to give any theories for now. Maybe it might be false, so we'll just listen to what's gonna happen here. For a long time, she'd been unable to fulfill her role of creating a successor for the Oshiramiya family and had been treated very coldly. But then she finally gave birth to Jessica and became able to call herself the Oshiramiya successor's wife with her head held high. So in her eyes, Oshiramiya Natsuhi began 18 years ago. That's why everything before that, including the events of 19 years ago, contained nothing but hateful memories. So definitely something happened there, but what did she do? We'll find out. And something from the last year of that hateful period is whispering vengeful words from the other end of the phone. I can still hear the roar of the sea.
いかがなさいますか？
私の部屋に転送しなさい。主人には内密に。
I mean, obviously.
かしこまりました。
From the beginning, Genji had guessed that she wouldn't want Krause hearing about this phone call. That's why he had told Natsuhi covertly. Natsuhi ordered that he transfer the call, told Kraus that she would turn in for the night, and left at a quick pace. Honestly, this is kind of scary though, right? She returned to her room and locked the door. There was nothing peculiar about it. In the Oshinomiya family, hallways are like public roads. There's no special meaning in locking the door when you enter your own room. Remember this. In the other episodes, they couldn't call the outside, right? They couldn't call the police every single time because it's technically the line is cut to the outside, but inside the mansion and I guess the guest house, it's still connected. So the one calling is definitely in the island already. This is what she told herself. Then, as though it had been waiting for her, the telephone rang. Genji had probably transferred the call. She took a deep breath, readied herself, and picked up the receiver. Here we go. Again, it started with a silence. She realized that the person at the other end was trying to irritate her and make her feel uncomfortable, and she got angry.
どうして黙っているのですか？切ります。
切るなよ、母さん。
If I can say the voice though, like he can connect it to other people in the mansion. Let me hear again.
もう少し声を聞いていたいんだからさ。
I mean, you could say it's kinda similar to Butler's voice though. Just a little bit. The tone is a little bit different, but the way this person talks, right, it's kind of like Butler. Other than that, you cannot really say anything. Like it's not George. It's not Cannon's voice, right? Yeah, very, very similar to Butler's voice. Again, that unpleasant voice.
私を愚弄する気ですか？要件を追いなさい。
母さんと遊びたい。
Wait, what did he say again? I want to play with you.
何を言っているんですか、あなたは。私はあなたとなど遊びたくありません。
親族会議で疲れたんだろ。持病の頭痛がだいぶ辛いんじゃないかい。
And then seriously, now that I thought that it's Butler, it kind of feels like it's Butler's voice. No joke.
余計なお世話です。
Just the fact that he knew her headache was troubling her made a shiver run up her spine.
頭痛になるのは頭が凝ってるからさ。そのままベッドに入ったっていい夢は見られないよ。
だから余計なお世話だと言っています。切りますよ。
Nazi forcefully yelled at that she was hanging up, but in actuality she couldn't. After all, being at the receiving end of a phone call was much better than the alternative. If she hung up violently, this person might then call someone else.
頭のこりをほぐすためにちょっとだけ遊ぼうよ。何、時間は取らせないよ。
あなたと遊ぶ気などありません。
母さんの名前は夏日。名前に季節を持ってるね。いい名前だ。でも夏日だからって夏が好きとは限らない。母さんが本当に好きな季節は何だい？
それをあなたに教えると思いますか？
教えてくれないなら俺が切るよ。いいのかい？
It was clearly a threat. It meant that if she forced him to hang up the phone, anything might happen. Humiliated that she was forced to give into a threat made by a man whose name she didn't even know, she gave him the answer he wanted.
秋です。
Autumn. Let me see again. Autumn season. Is it relevant? Okay, we'll remember this. Autumn season. Okay.
過ごしやすい季節だからです。他に特に理由はありません。これで満足ですか？
ああ、満足だ。やっぱり母さんの好きな季節は俺と同じだったよ。俺も秋が好きなんだ。
嘘つき。出任せを言うんじゃありません。
Surely this man would have done the same thing no matter which season I said I liked. What is he after? What's so fun about making me uncomfortable like this?
嘘つきなんてひどいな。出任せなんかじゃない。俺は母さんが秋が好きだって確信してたよ。証拠を見せてもいい？
証拠？
ああ。母さんの部屋に時計はあるかい？
時計？ええ、ありますが、それが何か。
In Natsui's room, there was a beautiful antique clock with an intricate design. Krause had bought it for her as a birthday present long ago.
今は0時7分ですね。もう眠いので茶番を早く終わらせなさい。
その時計持ち上げてみてよ。
どうしてです？
いちいちうるせえな。俺の言うことにお前は歯向かうんじゃないよ。
Let me read that again. I'm tired, so please get this farce over with. Try lifting the clock up.
黙って言われた通りにすればいいんだ。
The tone of the man's voice suddenly went low, turning into a threat. It made his displeasure clear. At first, this man seemed to have a calm way of speaking, but on the inside, that wasn't the case at all. If she enraged this man even a little more, he surely would show his true nature right away.
そんなに電話を切られたいかよ。こうしてあんたに電話をしてるうちが花なんだぜ。あんたが19年前にしたことを俺はいつだってあんたの旦那や娘に話すことができるんだ。
あなたが何の話をしているか知りませんが、夫や娘を巻き込まないでください。こうして私が電話を聞いていますから。
なら言われた通りにしやがるってんだ。
Once again, the man threatened her in a low voice as though warning her not to interrupt again. My head was filled with pain from my headache, the sound of my beating heart, and the roar of the sea. I can't disobey him anymore. As the man had ordered, I lifted up the antique clock. There lay what appeared to be a single playing card. Is it the warranty for the clock? Thinking this, she took it and turned it over. What did it say? Come on.
冷めたかい？
どうしてこんな。
あんたの頭痛が少しは引いたなら嬉しいんだけどな。嬉しいって言ってよ、母さん。
どうやってこれを。どうして。どうやって。
嬉しいですって言ってほしいな、この人殺しめ。よくも潔癖な奥様面ができるもんだぜ、ヘドが出る。そのヘドあんたの夫や娘にもぶちまけられたいかい？嫌だろう。黙っててほしいだろう。 ああ、黙っててやるよ。ほら、嬉しいだろ。嬉しいだろ。
嬉しいです。嬉しいです。だからやめて。夫と娘に構わないで。何が要求ですか？お金ですか？いくらですか？
Damn, honestly, what did Natsuhi do? If Butler had a sin, so does Natsuhi right now. It seems like it. I mean, what did she do 19 years ago? And now she's very scared.
金なんか欲しくないよ。俺の傷は金をいくら積んだって癒せないんだ。だが薬ならある。そうだな。
A medicine.
それは軟膏みたいなもんだ。ねっとりドロドロして糸を引く。
Thick, syrupy, and dribbling.
それはあんたへの
The blood.
俺の恨み。
My hatred. My resentment towards you.
そいつを塗ってでしか痛みが抑えられないんだよ。
Natsuhi had never had anything so hateful said to her in her entire life. So she suspected many times that she must be having some sort of bad dream. No, maybe because let's say maybe that's why she has headaches. Is this probably right? She doesn't want to remember what she did. Maybe this thing that she did was so bad that she literally forgot it or forced herself to forget it. However, this definitely wasn't a dream.
あなたはまさかこの島にいるのですか？
約束しただろ。親族会議には出るって。
不可能です。この台風では来られるわけもありません。
台風になる前から来てれば問題はないよ。それに台風の最中であってもエリカとかいう来客があったはずだ。
Her blood froze. Furudo Erika had supposedly been brought here by coincidence. If he knew that name, he would have to be very close.
あなたはどこに？
あんたの紹介がないうちは誰の前にも現れないさ。安心しな。おっと、俺を探しても無駄だよ。あんたの屋敷は広い。電話だってそこいら中にあるしな。あんただって俺に会いたくないだろ。それとも俺を見つけ出してみんなに紹介してくれるのか？
Actually, I want that though, yeah.
ジェシカにも紹介してくれよ。
Introduce me to Jessica too.
一つ上の兄ですってな。
やめて！ジェシカに構わないで！
怖がらせすぎたかな。今夜はこれで勘弁してやるよ。だが忘れるな。あんたは俺に逆らえないんだ。分かってるな、母さん。今夜はこれで電話を切るが、明日の朝まで命令がある。
何ですか？
あんたは今夜もその部屋を出てはならないし、どこにも電話をかけてはならない。電話がかかってきても取ることも許さねえぜ。そして今すぐ明かりを消し、布団をかぶって寝ろ。そしていつもの時間に起床しろ。
This is scary.
健康的な生活でいいな。母さんの体をいたわるなんて本当に俺は親孝行者だよ。
わかりました。今すぐ寝ます。 部屋も出ません、電話も出ません。だから夫と娘には。
母さんが俺の命令を守る限り、あんたの秘密は守ってやるよ。命令を破るなよ。俺はもうお前のすぐ近くにいる。部屋の明かりが消えるかどうか、そして電話をしているかどうかさえ、俺には手を取るようにわかるんだ。俺さえ望むなら、あんたの寝顔にキスすることだってできるんだからな。
守ります。約束は守ります。
Can you even sleep if someone is talking to you like this?
だからやめて。もうやめて。やめて。
As she screamed, Natsuhi took the card she had found under the clock and crushed it up into a little ball. It had a pattern like a tarot card, and also the kanji for autumn. Okay. But this dude is weird, man. And he just sounds like Butler, honestly. Could it be Butler? Could it be Butler is, let's say, an accomplice this time? Now, what I mean is, yeah, he has been ordered to be to call Natsuhi, but yeah, the voice definitely sounds like Butler. Let's step back in time once again, but I don't know. It's hard to say. But it's definitely not Butler, is what I mean. Not technically Butler. That's, for example, the actual, let's say, the person behind this. Maybe they ordered Butler to call Natsuhi and do that act. I don't know anymore. Well, yeah, let's just wait and see what. Hopefully they reveal this at the end, at least in this episode, what Natsuhi did. Right now, it is the exact moment that the large clock in the hall announced at 12 midnight. Because I couldn't remember anything that might say or hint that maybe Natsuhi did anything in the question arc. See, I can't even remember anything that would say that, oh, Natsuhi probably did this or do that. Yeah, there was nothing like that. Wondering who the person who knocked twice was, the relatives in the dining hall stared at the door. Rudolph told them to come in, but there was no answer. Until the end of that long tone marking of the arrival at 12 midnight, which had come from the large clock in the hall shortly after the knock. They were unable to move in the slightest.
手が塞がってて開けられないんじゃないのか?
But then again, yeah, it can't be Butler though, because yeah, Butler is right here, right? When the call was happening, Natsuhi was in her room and then Butler was here. I don't know. Maybe he just sounds like him.
かもな。だが名乗らねえってのが薄気味悪いな。
開けますか。
開けなさい。
Kanon nodded back, then slowly opened the door.
それは。
これは親父の封筒?
Right behind the door, or right behind the open door on the floor of the hallway, lay the envelope.
廊下には誰もいません。これを置いて立ち去ったのでしょうか。
The adults flew out into the corridor as well, but they could find no trace of anyone who might have knocked on the door. Just about an hour ago, Shannon and Kanon had come in to serve tea. At that time, everyone had seen that nothing lay in that spot. Someone came and knocked, left an envelope with a mark of the one-winged eagle on it, and left.
まさか、親方様でしょうか。
考えられない話じゃないわ。
Honestly, you could just say that maybe Genji did this, right? Made it a little bit different knock, and then just left it there. I mean, it's possible.
この屋敷で誰と呼ばれて返事をしないのはお父様くらいだもの。
ありえないわ。 ならどうしてお父様は堂々と入ってこないの？
そうやな。お父さんだったらノックなどせずいきなり入ってくるやろな。今このお屋敷は戸締まりがされとるんやろ？ならここに手紙を置くことができるんはクラウスさんか夏日さん、そして源氏さんの誰かしか考えられんで。
By this point, the mansion had completely locked up. Therefore, the cousins in the guest house at Nanja, Goda, Kumasawa, and Erika could not have come here. Furthermore, since Kraus, Natsui, and Genji were the only three who weren't in this room, one of those three had to have been the one who set that letter down the corridor. And my bet, or my guess, is maybe Genji. So it was very likely that Kraus and the others had placed the letter there to make it seem like a message from Kinzo.
なるほどね。
Let us see the contents though.
お父様の名を語ってバトラ君を次期当主に認めないみたいなことが書いてあるのよ。バカバカしい。兄さんめ、よくもこんな子供騙しを。
別に俺は次期当主なんて興味ねえぜ。
諦めろ。それがお前の運命なんだよ。とにかく中身を読んでみようじゃねえか。
Rudolph set the letter on the dining hall table and let everyone see the front and back to show that there were no tricks or hidden mechanisms. Almost like a magician does before performing his act.
この封筒は間違いなくお父様の封筒なの？
ええ、間違いないわ。
I mean, based on the, what do you call it again? The ring, not the ring, but I forgot what's it
お
called.
父様が新書に好んで使う封筒よ。
It's not even the letter, it's the actual stamp. What do you call that?
どう？
I forgot.
シャノンちゃん。
はい。私の目にも親方様が使われる封筒に見えます。
だからってお父様が書いたってことにはならないわよ。兄さんならお父様の書斎の引き出しからひょいと手に入れることなんて造作もない話だわ。
クラウス様とて容易に書斎には入れません。封筒を盗み出すなど難しいことかと。
開けてみようぜ。それから考えても遅くないはずだ。何か入ってるな。なんだろうな。
Rudolph opened the envelope a bit roughly. Then a folded letter and a glittering object fell out. It's the ring. I'm gonna guess. It was a ring. I told you it was a ring.
え？
The head's ring.
ちょっと、その指輪。
Ava noticed it immediately and grabbed at it.
これ、お父様の指輪よ。当主の指輪だわ。
なんやて？ほんまか？
間違いなくお父様の指輪なの？レプリカということは？
これは本物よ。私はいつかこの指輪を自分の指に通してやるとずっと夢見てきたのよ。
I knew it. I knew she was gonna say that. She was gonna say that. Oh, I've been wanting this ring ever since I was little because I dreamed of becoming the head.
お父様が指にしてた時から私は誰よりもこの指輪のことをよく知ってるわ。これはお父様の指輪よ、間違いなく。どうしてここに？
じゃあやっぱりこの手紙はお父様が。
こりゃ差出人は親父じゃねえぞ。もっと面白い。
じゃあ誰からの手紙だってんだ？
後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様からだぜ。
Rudolph showed everyone the part of the letter where that was written. It really did say that.
ベアトリーチェから？
なんて書いてあるの？
読むぞ。コングラッチュレーションズ。バトラ様が碑文の謎を見事に解かれ黄金鏡にたどり着きましたことを認めます。黄金はすべてバトラ様のものです。そして後ろ宮家の新しき当主もバトラ様です。その証として金蔵様よりお預かりしている当主の指輪をお送りします。
Honestly, I think everyone would believe this now, right? Because earlier, Natsuhi and Kraus wouldn't approve, right? That Butler got all of this. All the gold or cheddar, all that stuff, I mean. But now, this letter is saying that, yes, it is all Butler's. He's the new head of the Oshirumiya family, etc., etc.
どうぞバトラ様、指輪をされて新しい黄金の主となり、どうか後ろ宮家をお導きください。
Now, what I mean is, this letter is much more, what do you call this? Useful to their side. Them saying this because, yes, the only one preventing the actual deal to go through was Natsuhi, right? And Kraus earlier. So if they have this now, pretty much saying, or yeah, saying that Butler is the one who got all the gold, who's the new head. Yeah.
新しき当主のご活躍を心よりお祈りいたしております。
This is pretty much, what do you call this? Not acceptance, but confirmation that what Butler did was correct. Or what they're thinking of, I mean.
なんてこった。親父が書斎から出てこねえもんだから、森の魔女ベアトリーチェが直接バトラを認めてくれたわけだ。
What I mean is that they needed this. Yes, they needed this. Ava's group needed this letter.
バトラ君、この指輪はあなたが持つのよ。
Yeah, see? Now she's saying to Butler, take the ring.
これは当主が身につけるべき特別な指輪。ベアトリーチェが何者か知らないけれど、彼女は一部始終を見届け、あなたが真の跡継ぎだと認めてこの指輪を送ったのよ。
いいんすか？こんな重要な指輪を。
ああ、いいんだ。誇らしげに指にはめるといい。いいか、兄貴や夏日さんが外せと言っても絶対に外すんじゃねえぞ。
All of the relatives with creepy smiles on their faces urged Butler to put the ring on his finger. It looked like things would get pretty nasty if he refused, so Butler reluctantly decided to put it on the middle finger of his left hand. The ring was heavy and stiff. Okay, Kraus is back. Genji is back as well.
申し訳ないね。妻は具合が悪そうだったので先に休ませてもらった。
Now Kraus is gonna be surprised. Like, what is this?
何かあったのかね。なんだか諸君がひどく慌ただしいようだ。
バトラ様、それは。
Immediately, Genji keenly spotted that which Butler had just put on his finger.
さすが源氏さんや。お目が高い。これが誰の指輪かわかるようやな。
何の話だね。
Judging by Kraus's dubious expression, it seemed unlikely that he was the one who placed the letter there. I mean, obviously it's not him. This letter is pretty much benefiting Ava's group rather than Kraus' side, so of course he did not put that letter there. Furthermore, the expression quickly changed into one of shock.
そうよ、後ろ宮家当主の指輪よ。
The family conference took up this new topic. And the storm came once again. Okay. The next day? Oh no, 3 a.m. 3:05? Not 3:05, like 3:01, 3:02. Raining was still pouring down as hard as ever. This weather was supposed to continue all day tomorrow as well, which made me feel a bit depressed. Oh wait, given the time I should say today and not tomorrow. But that doesn't really matter now. I'm sleepy. With half asleep eyes, I opened my umbrella. The large drop of rain pounded mercilessly against it. Technically, the end of the family conference had been declared at 1 a.m., but external scuffles kept continuing sluggishly. I'm really jealous of Aunt Rosa, who managed to slip out of there at that time. She cleverly got away by saying that she'd check on Maria, who might have been staying up too late. Dad caught me, ruining my chance to escape. And then they made me stick around until now, 3 a.m. So what have they decided on after all this time? Nothing. Nothing at all. They just kept on arguing about who said what like an elementary school kid. I'm sure they're tired too. That's probably why they kept dragging on with the same pointless questions. I no longer felt any shock or anger towards them. I guess drowsiness is the best painkiller. I left them behind and finally returned to the guest house. When I got back to the guest house, the first floor lounge was lit. I could even hear people chatting inside, so they're still awake. Apparently some people were still awake even this late. Nanjo and Goda. Despite the late hour, Goda-san and Nanjo or Dr. Nanjo were still up and chatting. Plates and cups were lined up on the counter. And it almost looked like a bar with Goda-san as the bartender. When they noticed I had returned, they seemed to finally realize how late it was. When Goda-san made to top off Dr. Nanjo's glass, the latter declined with an exaggerated gesture. He's just saying enough because the butler is here. If butler didn't come, he would take more.
この時間では夜更かしのしすぎだ。もうこんな時間とは。南條先生があまりにお話がお上手なもので、ついつい。それを言ったらあんたの酒の魚のおかげだ。また別の機会に一杯やりましょう。喜んで。バトラ様、お帰りなさいませ。まだ旦那様方の会議は続いておりますか？
あの調子でグダグダと明け方までやるんだろうぜ。知ったことじゃねえぜ。
I spoke carelessly with a big yawn.
皆さん、案外体力が終わりですね。
Why is she still awake?
びっくりです。
なんだ、お前までいたのか。
なんとなく流れでこちらでささやかな夜会が始まったもので混ぜてもらっていました。例のことは話してませんのでご安心を。
I haven't said a word about that. Erica could be seen on the sofa. She had taken her shoes off and was lounging around as though she owned the place.
エリカ様も本当にいろいろなお話をご存知で、とても楽しく聞かせていただきました。
あんたは本当に博識だ。若いのに大したもんだよ。
どういたしまして。フルドエリカはこの程度には博識ですので。
Erica grabbed the corners of her skirt and posed. This was somewhat less than graceful considering she was lounging on the sofa with her feet up.
ローザおばさんは
午前の1時頃にお戻りになりましたが、すぐに上がられ、お休みになられました。
What is the title of this song again? Cage. Okay. Yeah, the song is very calming, man. That's probably true. After taking part in that conference for so long, I feel like flopping down in the bed right away myself. I've had it. I'm tired enough that I might flop over right here.
さあ、私たちもこれくらいにしましょう。郷田さんも明日の朝食の準備で朝が早いのでしょう？
朝食の仕込みはすでに済んでおります。
Yeah, more or less Goda's probably not gonna sleep anymore.
どうぞ明日の朝食も大いにご期待いただければ幸いです。
Like these 2 days is very, very important. And him wanting the attention, right? Yeah. He needs to prepare and be the best these 2 days. In Goda's eyes, the family conference is an open stage on which to display his culinary skills. Maybe this invigorates him so much that he doesn't even get sleepy. Yes. This feeds him energy. Erika stood up laughing at how youthful Goda was. This became a sign that it was time to disperse.
お片付けは私の方でしておきます。どうぞ皆様はお休みを。
Leaving the cleanup to Goda-san, I went to the bathroom, then climbed to the stairs to the second floor.
それでは皆さんおやすみなさい。老骨にはちと夜更かしが過ぎましたな。
おやすみなさい、南條先生。おやすみなさい、バトラ。
おう。おやすみ。
For some reason, I find Erika hilarious, man. Not hilarious because the way she's talking, now she's soft-spoken again, right? It just kind of feels fake and it's funny to me. Then in the second floor hallway, we split up and then we have this song right now that's playing. Dr. Nanju went to his own room. Erika went to her own room. And I returned to the cousin's room. I couldn't hear any sounds of playing coming from her room. Could they have fallen asleep already? No surprise at this time of night. If they were still playing, they would have been staying up way too late. When I opened the door quietly, as expected, the room was already pitch black except for a small nightlight. Everyone was already sleeping in their beds. I'm sure they all had a great time and played a ton. Then they probably talked about youthful things and enjoyed staying up late. If only I hadn't found a gold, I could have enjoyed my time with them. I'm already tired, so tired. Forgetting even to change my clothes or brush my teeth, I crawled into bed and immediately began to descend into the marshes of sleep. Today's been so insane. I wonder if that old bastard is still in that family conference now. How does he not get tired? This is very important to them. Yes, they will not get tired. Come to think of it, they can rest afterwards. What was it that old bastard said when we parted company?
明日家族で重要な話がしたい。
Ooh, again, they're saying this.
お前
He's saying
に
this
関わることだ。
It's about you. Yeah, I'm sure it's more stuff about being the successor. I don't even want to hear about it.
こいつを話せば俺は殺されるだろうな。
But yeah, earlier Rudolph wasn't dead though. When we shifted into the game world, right? He was not included in the first 6. I'll kill you whenever you want, you old bastard. And then, what was it he said next?
お前の生まれについての話だ。
Oh, it's about your birth. So, yes, it is actually right. He was talking about Butler's birth. Nice. My birth. Probably just something about the noble Ushirimiya lineage. Not interested. Just let me sleep. So yeah, if you watch my thoughts and theories video, I talked about Butler's mom. Who is Butler's mom? And yeah, I included this one when Rudolph said this in the first episode. It kind of made sense after, what do you call this, the events of the 4th episode. The sound of crashing waves, the sound of the tide surging, the noise of the sea breeze. Whenever my headache torments me, these are the sounds that fill my head. Okay, let's take a break here. But damn, that was long, right? But yeah, for the letter itself, I don't think it's Kraus or Natsuhi obviously that put that there because it would not benefit them. Actually, they would lose much more, right? So that one is probably from, yeah, the culprit itself playing again, or maybe Genji put that there. The culprit ordered him to, right? But it's quite nice. It's quite nice. It was a nice scene. It's not the last scene. I mean, the last scene with Nanjo, Goda, and Erika there. After all that tension they had in the mansion, and then yes, we saw the scene with Natsuhi with the man calling her again. That small scene there in the guest house was pretty nice to remove all the tension before, yeah, before we, I guess we, yeah, the chapter ended technically before the end of the chapter. So that was pretty nice. So it's heating up. Who is this man that keeps calling Natsuhi? He sounds like Butler. Just sounds like Butler, but I don't know. But as I said, for me it's maybe still the culprit, but how is the connection though? I can't really say the connection. It's hard to say for now. What is the connection? Maybe remember my theory about the culprit, right? What happened to her? Why did she not, let's say, like for my theory, no, she was a daughter, let's say daughter Kinzo, right? But, and then she ended up in the Fukuin house. So maybe it was 19 years ago though, so maybe something happened there. I don't know, maybe she's just pretending that, maybe she's just pretending to be this man, or maybe she's just ordering someone to call and pretend to be a man. I'm not sure, but that is the only, like, that's the only thing that makes sense though, right? Who else would call Natsuhi? And if there are people here in the house, who else, right? Who else? It's probably the culprit still, right? But yeah, we gotta learn more though. So when I'm talking about this, my theory and theory stuff, it's just my theories on the question arcs, okay? Whenever I say that, so yeah, that's why I'm kind of like reluctant to say it, because maybe some people didn't watch my theory videos, and then if you're watching this, you'd be like, what are you talking about, right? What are you saying? So if you haven't watched my theory videos on the question arcs, yeah, watch it if you have time, if you can. But yeah, we'll take a break for now. So we are gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry, episode 5 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.